sometimes doing nothing is the most productive thing your code can do. Or philosophically say, it's not procrastination, it's performance optimization. Debouncing is a programming practice that limits the rate at which a function can fire. It's a way to make sure that the time-consuming tasks don't fire so often that they paralyze the entire browser or make your app feel sluggish. Debouncing is like telling your code to take a chill pill and wait a second. Now, before you hitting JavaScript even more, let's look at some real-world life cases. So, imagine typing JavaScript into a search bar without debouncing. Your app would try to search every letter like J, JA, JAV, JAVA, and so on. With debouncing, it waits until you have finished typing before making the API call. So if you have ever resized a browser window and watched your site having a meltdown, that's because resize events can fire dozens of times per second. Debouncing helps your layout recalculations. Also, without debouncing, scrolling can trigger hundreds of events per second. Debouncing can ensure that no matter how many times they mash the submit button, the function only fires once. Also, debouncing keeps your autocomplete from being overeager. It prevents those awkward moments when you type the N and it immediately suggests Nvidia, because clearly everyone's always talking about graphic cards, right? Okay, now let's break down a code. This is the code on your screen and let's try to understand what is that. The debounce function takes two parameters, the function we want to debounce and the delay time. We declare a variable time ID to keep the track of set timeout. We return a new function that uses closure to access the outer function's scope. When this returned function is called, it clears any existing timing out using clear timeout. When it sets a new timeout using set timeout function, this timeout will call the original function. Then sets a new timeout using the new set timeout function. This timeout will call the original function after the specific delay. Function.apply, this is used to call the original function with the correct context and all the arguments passed to it. Okay, but we're gonna implement on a search box. How we do it? Okay, so in this code we are saying to chill out for 300 milliseconds. If the user is still typing, reset the timer. Only when they have stopped typing for 300 milliseconds, you should actually run the search. This is a very simple implementation that can save your server from meltdown. Congratulations, you can now add a professional function delayer to your LinkedIn profile. And this is DevDoomer69 signing off. Don't forget to like, subscribe and touch some grass if you remember what it is.